All right, last one we're talking about is number 8 Miami at California. It is a 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time game on ESPN. The storylines know all eyes are on Berkeley, California this weekend. For the first time ever, the Golden Bears are hosting ESPN's College Game Day, and there's only 6 Power 4 programs who've never hosted the show now. So Cal crossed it off now. They're officially hosting College Game Day. And even after losing to Florida State last week, they're still off to a solid 3-1 start to their season. And right now they're a top 45 team in PFF's power rankings right now. And a team that's actually below Cal in the ranking is Virginia Tech, who nearly upset Miami last weekend. They had a completed Hail Mary that was overturned on the final play of the game. So the Hurricanes now going cross-country, trying to shake off that scare against Virginia Tech and going up against a seemingly better team now in California, where that stadium is probably rocking with College Game Day there and all that. So it's really interesting to see how Miami responds now against a Cal team that is, like I said, has all eyes in that program for the first time in a long time.
For sure, and Cal had a big win a few weeks ago at Auburn. Had a tough loss to Florida State, but looking to bounce back in the ACC and adjust to life in the ACC and getting their first ACC home game, too. So we'll see where that goes. Miami, first conference game. Vatek got the run game going on him. I mean, obviously, you have 2 good backs. Jade Knott leading the way there, but for Cal. But I think it's a weird spot for Miami, and I think this is the first time. I think it's the first time that we're really seeing now the east to west, the real cross country going back thing, and it's going to be a weird thing all year in the ACC. Or we saw Stanford going all the way out to Syracuse. We're going to see it obviously all season now, but it's a weird cross country trip for Miami, especially coming off the game that they played last Friday.
Definitely. So, Don, you have the Miami offense. So what should we know when Heisman Trophy candidate Cam Ward has a football in this game?
I mean, look, we found out already that Cam Ward is tough to stop, to say the least. This offense is rolling. Xavier Restrepo and all their receivers and Damian Martinez in the run game, when they get that going, they've got a lot of weapons, and Cam Ward's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But there is a kryptonite still. Okay, Cam Ward came into this year with more turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws in his career, and it's gotten better. It's a better ratio this year, but 3 turnovers last week that really are the thing that kept Virginia Tech in the game, right? And especially we see Cam Ward sometimes when he's trying to improvise or just trying to fit balls into tight windows where, okay, he's a little loose with the football. He makes great throws into tight windows too, but you get kind of this thing. I think he's got, 47 career fumbles now?
Probably, yeah.
I know he had 46 through the first. I think last week was his first fumble. I could be wrong on that. But that's what you have to do with Cam Ward. If you're going to win, you got to force turnovers. Luckily for Cal, look, they're 16th in the nation in coverage grade right now. 10 interceptions lead the nation, 6 of them by an excellent cornerback duo in Marcus Harris and Noel Williams. Got a good secondary. That they're ball hawks, and they want to get the football. And if they can do that, and if they can close those windows or fool Cam Ward into throwing into a window that he thinks is there, that's how you have to beat Miami. I really believe that. You do. I think you have to get in a high-scoring game, but you have to force him into mistakes. And I think Cal has at least shown now. Have they played an elite passing game like Miami's? Absolutely not. Look, the 4 teams that they've played.
Auburn's not doing it for you?
Not yet. Not with Florida State.
Poor ZT.
Their first 4 opponents combined have a 75.5 passing grade, and that's nowhere near where Cam Ward is at. So if Cal is going to win, they have to win the turnover battle and win it significantly.
Definitely. On the other side of the ball, we have another mismatch, Dolan, with offensive line against defensive line. Because this Miami defensive line is one of the best in the country, and this Cal offensive line is not one of the best in the country right now. Right now, Cal's front 5 is currently the 7th lowest graded offensive line in the Power 4 with a 59.3 grade as a unit. They've allowed a sack or hit on 18.8% of their pass blocking snaps this year. That's the 9th highest rate in college football. But luckily for them, their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, has been really good this year. He has the 27th best grade under pressure at a 67.2. So he's solid under pressure. He'll likely need to be good under pressure again this week against Miami, who entered the year with my number 3 D-line in the country, and they're currently 2nd in the country in defensive line grade at an 89.8. Right now, the Hurricanes lead the nation in pressure rate at 45.8%. And the craziest part about all that, Dawn, 2nd highest grade D-line in the country, lead the nation in pressure rate. Reuben Bain Jr. has played 3 snaps this year. 3. Their best defensive lineman has played 3 snaps. He played 3 snaps in the season opener and then got hurt. Mario Cristobal confirmed this week he's back. Ruben Bain is back. So you're talking about a Miami defensive line that has dominated this entire season, and now you're adding your best defensive lineman that you haven't had practically all year. That spells a lot of trouble for California in this game. So I'm excited to see Ruben Bain back. We had him as our, I believe, number 6 edge in the country coming into this year. He had an unreal true freshman season last year. In fact, he had the second highest pass rushing grade we've ever seen by a true freshman. The only one above him was Myles Garrett, who's one of, if not the best defensive player in the NFL right now. So Ruben Bain Jr. is back this week. And again, Miami's D-line without him was one of the best in the country. And now they add him back. It's like, okay, this could be an unblockable unit. So I'm really excited to see if Cal can do anything against this Miami defensive line that's been one of the best in America.
No, absolutely. It's a big advantage for Miami. And that's really, we've talked about the 2 big problems when you're playing against Miami is how do we disturb Cam Ward and how in the world do we block this front 4, right? And I think if you can find a way to block him and give yourself time, I think Miami's secondary is good but not as elite as their defensive line. And Mendoza, it's going to be on him, and I think he is better when he works in rhythm and he has that first read and he knows where to go with the football. I think that's the one thing he's not going to want to do in this game is hold the football longer than he needs to, because it's going to be a problem. That's just the way Miami's defensive line works. If you hold the ball, you're asking for it. And Mendoza's not as mobile as a guy like Kyron Drones last week, right? Where Drones can escape and he's got a big body. Like Mendoza's a pocket quarterback. So it's a challenge for sure. And for Cal's offensive line and really for their entire team, this is a big step up from what they've played so far this year.
Definitely. So Dalton, in this cross-country game for Miami, will Miami spoil the first college game day for Cal, or with all the bright lights on Berkeley, will the Golden Bears pull off a massive upset?
I have to like Miami in this game. Cam Ward's playing too well. The defensive line is a huge mismatch. And look, Cal can score some points for sure if they get in rhythm, especially in the passing game down the sidelines, and they get a little bit of run game going. Cal can score, but I just think there's serious trench advantages here for Miami. Even their offensive line that played really well last week, especially as the game went on. Got some run game going in the second half, and they protect Cam Ward reasonably well. He can improvise reasonably well. It's kind of this symbiotic thing they have going right now. Miami's just, they're really darn good. They're what? They're number 7 in the country right now, number 8. They're number 8. They're well deserving of that ranking. I think if you told me, hey, Miami's the 8th best team in the country, they should win this game. Yeah, I've got Miami 42-24. I think there's too many mismatches and too much talent on the Hurricanes side.
Yeah, I have it very slightly closer than that. I have 35-21. I just think that this defensive line is going to feast on Cal's offensive line, and Cam Ward has continued to show that, hey, I can be a Heisman Trophy candidate every single week, and he won that game against Virginia Tech at the very end of it. I think he'll add to his Heisman campaign with a strong performance. I do think Cal's secondary is pretty good, so maybe they'll keep it interesting for a little bit, but I think Miami will pull away and ultimately win this game. 35-21, final score.